FaZe Clan hacked the gaming world, turning a group of teenage punks into a $1 billion empire. But what if I told you it was all built on a ticking time bomb? For weeks, I've analyzed leaked emails, dissected financial wreckage, and uncovered the 7 darkest moments that destroyed FaZe forever.
This is the story of the worst influencer scam I've ever seen.
You'll see how a crypto scam erased $80 million from fans' wallets, how illegal gambling fueled their rise, and the final betrayal that left the founders begging for control of their own company.
I am a part of the FaZe Clan.
By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why FaZe Clan collapsed. And trust me, everything you're about to see is 100% real.
This is way bigger than all of us. This is bigger than anything I've ever imagined.
What if I told you that the same energy that built FaZe into an empire would also destroy it? FaZe Clan didn't start as a business. There were no corporate meetings, no investor pitches, and definitely no billion-dollar dreams. Just 3 teenagers, an Xbox, and a crazy idea. In May 2010, Eric Rivera, known as Clips, Jeff Eman, known as Housecat, and Ben Christensen, known as Resistance, were just teenagers uploading trick shots to YouTube. Their series Ill Cams wasn't just gaming, it was art, turning Call of Duty kill cams into viral masterpieces. And the internet went wild.
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan, the world's largest gaming team.
By 2012, FaZe had hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Gaming suddenly had its first rockstars, and everyone wanted a piece.
Oh my God.
Big brands like McDonald's jumped at the chance to sponsor them, while celebrities including rap icon Snoop Dogg didn't just invest. He even took a seat on FaZe's board of directors.
I am a part of the FaZe Clan.
Snoop Dogg joining FaZe Clan.
But here's the twist no one saw coming. See, FaZe Clan wasn't built like other esports teams. These weren't disciplined pros following strict schedules. They were rebellion playing by their own rules. Sure, it brought them some success, but it also created chaos. They built their brand on viral stunts, endless parties, and a bad boy lifestyle that investors couldn't resist, but could never control. But every party has to end, and when the party stopped, that's when everything started to go wrong. It's June 2021 and FaZe Clan is riding high, dominating esports, raking in millions, and 4 of FaZe Clan's heavy hitters, K, Jarvis, Nikan, and Tico, announced a new crypto project called
SaveTheKids token.
SaveTheKids token.
SaveTheKids token.
They promise it's a revolutionary charity token. Fans believe them. After all, this is FaZe. Why wouldn't you trust your heroes? And within hours, fans pour in thousands, college funds, life savings, dreaming of securing a golden ticket to crypto riches while helping children in need. But there was just one problem.
The scamming doesn't stop.
The entire thing was a scam. SaveTheKids was never meant to last, and FaZe knew it. Behind the scenes, insiders like Jordan Galen and former YouTube prankster Sam Pepper secretly tweaked the token's code. They changed the anti-whale timer, a security feature designed to prevent big holders from selling too quickly. So instead of a safe 24-hour waiting period, they set it to just 60 seconds.
Lucas, the developer, told us before the launch that the owners asked him to modify the anti-whale system from 24 hours to a minute.
That tiny change turned a promising charity project into the ultimate pump and dump scheme. The second the token launched, the price skyrocketed. The insiders cashed out, dumping millions in coins before anyone could react. Within days, the value of SaveTheKids plummeted by 90%. Fans lost everything, and FaZe members, they walked away with fortunes.
Even Instagram model Summer Rae got involved.
It's called SaveTheKids, and this month alone, we're going to give $1 million to charities.
K alone pocketed $80,000 in hours, but the internet was watching. Coffeezilla, a YouTuber famous for exposing scams, tore apart the entire fiasco. Over 2 million people watched as he exposed how FaZe stars exploited about $80 million from their own fans, branding the scandal
The worst influencer scam I've ever seen.
and it got worse. Whistleblowers soon confirmed it wasn't a rogue operation. FaZe management knew the scheme was shady but turned a blind eye. Internal leaks even showed unscheduled shady payments like the infamous $100,000 MoonPay sponsorship to streamer Aiden Ross, who barely understood crypto but was happy to sell it to young, impressionable fans. The backlash was brutal. K was immediately fired, Jarvis, Nikan and Tico were suspended, and fans unleashed hell on social media. Hashtags like FaZe Scam trended for days. The gaming world saw FaZe for who they had become, a brand willing to exploit their own fan base for a quick payday. But as shocking as this crypto disaster was, it was just the tip of the iceberg. And trust me, you haven't seen anything yet.
Like how we even lost the company. Nobody talked about it. I want to so bad.
Now let's rewind, because this scam didn't pop out of nowhere. Meet Sebastian Gertz, a Norwegian businessman who is basically a ghost online. Just some dead social media accounts and a 2009 blog calling him a fake flexer with busted nightclubs. But in 2015, Gertz reached out to FaZe founder Temper with a tempting pitch: big money deals, corporate connections, and a seat at the table with power players. Next thing you know, Temper and Banks were jetting off to Norway. For months, Gertz paraded them through Norway, Berlin, London, showing off his luxurious world, planting big dreams in their minds. By 2016, all 4 FaZe founders were on board, and Gertz company Hubrick invested $1.3 million into FaZe. But there was a catch. To evolve, FaZe had to change.
My life just radically, significantly changed. Like I'd been on a plane one time in my life from 0 to 22, and now I'm flying all over Europe, and I got this dude telling me like, I'm gonna help you guys get rich, and this is gonna be, you know, the next Nike, and yada, yada, yada.
With Hubrick's cash, FaZe leveled up. A sleek new logo, high-end videos, and a massive esports push. Gertz appeared to be a wizard, turning teenage gamers' dreams into $1 million reality. But behind the curtain, his business history was a graveyard of bankrupt companies. Still, the founders trusted him. Under his guidance, FaZe hired Hollywood stars, including Lee Trink, a former music executive who helped launch Katy Perry's career as CEO. Trink had one goal: transform FaZe from a group of gamers into a sleek mainstream media empire. Gertz then brought in Michael Treschow, a billionaire heir who pumped millions into Hubrick. At first, the founders were optimistic, but slowly something shifted.
And you come across bad actors, and it just takes one, right? Somebody to sit down and take advantage of the fact and manipulate the fact that you don't know anything about business, legal, finance.
FaZe stopped being about trick shots and viral moments. Now it was about sponsorships, investor pitches, and boardroom meetings. Trink and his team treated FaZe like a brand instead of a brotherhood, slowly pushing aside the creators who built it. Behind closed doors, the founders started losing control.
I don't know, this is something that not a lot of people know about, but my shares in FaZe Clan were straight up stolen from me. For a long stretch of time, I actually wasn't on the FaZe cap table.
Banks, Temper, Rain, these guys built FaZe with their bare hands, but now their voices didn't matter. New investors took seats at the table, suited executives, people who had never hit a trick shot in their lives were calling the shots. Rain and Banks later described it as a hostile takeover, a slow, calculated stripping away of what made FaZe FaZe.
Took advantage of that, kind of drove a wedge between me and the original founders, and used that opportunity to write me out of the contract.
By March 2023, tensions finally exploded. Hashtag #SaveFaZe trended worldwide. Banks and Rain went nuclear online, exposing what they called a corporate hijacking of FaZe Clan. The suits they claimed had gutted FaZe, stripping away everything that made it special. But that was not all. In 2021, Banks himself admitted to one of FaZe's dirtiest secrets.
All honestly, I'll let you in on a secret. Don't tell anybody I said this, but we figured out how to just scheme so much money out of Hollywood and the internet. Like, we're just running with it. I know it, dude. Until the fucking wheels fall off. Man, dude.
They had run a massive underground gambling site back in 2016, pulling in a staggering $200,000 a day. And here's the worst part. Most customers were kids. They flew to the Caribbean to get a gambling license, bribed officials to keep it running, then they lied about it in public, all while raking in millions from underage fans who had no idea they were being exploited.
So we create this website, and through our rake and all this shit, we were making like $200,000 a day. So we flew there private, sat down with the guy who runs the country, basically paid him like $100,000, and he gave us the license.
While all of this drama unfolded, something much worse was happening behind the scenes. The company was running out of money, and that's when the real collapse began. Back in 2022, FaZe had just gone public on NASDAQ, celebrating with champagne, red carpets, and a brand valuation of $1 billion. On paper, it was a dream come true, but in reality, it was a ticking time bomb.
I am certain you've never seen a group like this in front of this camera before.
FaZe was burning through money like they had unlimited lives. They splurged hundreds of thousands of dollars on luxury mansions in the Hollywood Hills. They even spent $1.7 million just to have Travis Scott perform at one party. And in one of the dumbest financial moves ever, they handed Snoop Dogg millions in stock for nothing more than a handshake and a cameo.
I am a part of the FaZe Clan.
But behind the scenes, the money wasn't coming in fast enough. The operating expenses exploded from $37.1 million in 2021 to a staggering $59.4 million in 2022. Official SEC filings revealed a net loss of $53.2 million. Their merch sales crashed from $5.9 million to $3.5 million after signing what insiders called the world's shittiest deal with Network. They even had to pay rapper Lil Yachty double after a scheduling flop. Plus, their esports team, FaZe Rain, exposed it was bleeding $37,000 every single month with no revenue coming in.
Would be like Blueface, some Pammy Baby too. Pammy Baby, Blueface, 4 prostitutes of 18 gang members. There would be weed pouring through my vents into my fucking room.
By early 2023, the stock had gone from $20 a share to about 18 cents. And the NASDAQ itself was warning FaZe about delisting. FaZe was running out of time. This wasn't just financial mismanagement, it was a full-blown disaster. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, FaZe's financial collapse was about to turn into a legal nightmare. Because when $1 billion company goes broke this fast, someone's definitely getting sued. You see, back in 2019, Turner Tenney, popularly known as Tfue, was FaZe Clan's golden child, the face of Fortnite, a cash machine printing millions. But behind the highlights and hype, Tfue was trapped in a contract so one-sided it would ignite one of the biggest lawsuits in esports history.
I didn't know any better. I'm an idiot. I should have never signed it in the first place. What is in this contract is so bizarre. It's so fucked. These kids are getting ripped off. They're getting taken advantage of.
His FaZe deal wasn't just unfair. It was straight up robbery. 80% of his sponsorship money and 50% of his tournament winnings all go to FaZe. His take-home was a measly $2,000 a month, while FaZe raked in millions off his name. And when Tfue called it out, FaZe denied everything.
All of these claims are absolute bullshit. It's simply just not true.
Release the fucking contract. Hashtag release the fucking contract.
But then internal contracts were leaked online, confirming everything Tfue said. FaZe's deals were built on exploitation. The world now saw that FaZe wasn't a gaming family. It was a ruthless business. But Tfue wasn't the only one coming after FaZe. Alistair Violet also sued for unpaid equity. Wonderset investors sued over a botched stock merger. Post-SPAC shareholders went after FaZe's board, accusing them of fraud. FaZe stock had tanked from $1 billion empire to 22 cents a share, and investors wanted blood. But here's where things got even darker. Law firms uncovered that executives had fake deliverables, like forging tweets to justify a $100,000 payout to Aiden Ross, and while FaZe lied to fans, they cashed out behind the scenes.
So we create this website, and through our rake and all this shit, we were making like $200,000 a day.
FaZe's empire was built on predatory contracts, empty promises, and backroom deals. The lawsuits, the leaks, and insider betrayals proved one thing: it was all a scam. And when the legal firestorm exploded, the public's reaction would even be more devastating. By mid-2021, FaZe was spiraling out of control. YouTubers like Coffeezilla and some ordinary gamers were dropping bombshell exposés, racking up millions of views, showing exactly how $80 million disappeared from fans' wallet in a single crypto scam.
The worst influencer scam I've ever seen. Together, they have well over 50 million followers between them.
Fans felt betrayed. Comments flooded social media like one Reddit post capturing the mood perfectly. Love the team, but I hope this effing organization goes out of business. Somehow, FaZe kept digging its own grave. In July 2022, FaZe centered a major Fortnite streamer got caught casually dropping a racial slur on live stream.
Bang! No. This nigga's ass!
Yeah, I'm streaming!
The backlash was swift, and FaZe kicked him immediately, but the damage was done. Just 1 month earlier, FaZe Virus posted anti-LGBTQ tweets, and yet he stayed on FaZe's roster for months before quietly vanishing. And by mid-2023, FaZe had hit rock bottom. FaZe Clan had 512 million followers across every social platform, but not a single sponsor left. Zero new merch collabs, zero brand deals, zero esports momentum. But even then, they hadn't seen the worst yet, because just when you thought FaZe Clan couldn't fall any further, the final nail in the coffin was about to drop. Every empire ends. Some collapse in war, some crumble under their own weight, and some that get sold for scraps. By early 2023, FaZe was barely holding it together. Desperate for a fresh start, they signed Grace Van Dien, an actress turned streamer, hoping she would inject new life into the brand. But FaZe's original star, Rain, wasn't having it.
Why would she want to be a place where nobody wants her? Why? And then he's like, we'll lose McDonald's, and I want to say he said Porsche, if we don't keep Grace, because her dad or somebody's friends with somebody. It's just some sort of connection there that they need her to come out.
Rain leaked Grace's contract details, publicly mocked her, calling her excruciatingly mid.
When you were still playing with Barbies, I made my first million out of this industry. And on top of it, you're excruciatingly mid, who I would never let touch me on my drunkest night.
Within days, Grace quit, blasting FaZe as toxic in a viral Twitch stream. The hashtag FaZeIsDead trended worldwide. Fans realized FaZe wasn't about gaming anymore. It was about ego, drama, and self-destruction.
I don't like you. I think you're a terrible person.
Really?
Yeah.
And things got worse. By June, FaZe announced massive layoffs, cutting 40% of their workforce. More than 100 people fired by year's end, and by September, CEO Lee Trink was forced out in disgrace. The chaos was undeniable. By October, the unthinkable happened. FaZe Clan, once valued at $1 billion, was sold to GameSquare for only $16 million. That's just about 2% of its peak valuation. Their stock was delisted from NASDAQ, officially declaring to the world that FaZe, the unstoppable empire, had collapsed completely. But there was still time for one more twist.
I'm gonna lie, FaZe Banks is a genius. I don't care.
Can't be overstated how crazy this whole ride has been. And you guys are a part of just one chapter of it, but you guys are all welcome to be in, and I really do hope that you'll all be a part of it for the rest of it. Because you guys have absolutely changed this whole brand.
The OGs returned, Banks, Temper. They fired 17 creators overnight, calling it a reboot. They vowed to rebuild FaZe from scratch, promising a return to their roots, a leaner, hungrier crew. But here's the big question. Was this really a revival, or just a desperate attempt to hold on to the ashes of a brand that had burned itself down too many times? Because FaZe Clan doesn't ever truly die. It just destroys itself again and again and again. But this time, the ashes might be all that's left.
I lost my pops, my dad, Big Rich, shout out Mingya. And this FaZe shit was his favorite shit ever, bro. Like, this motherfucker would talk about this shit endlessly. And I would go back home for Christmas, and this motherfucker would talk about it. I'd just be so ashamed of what was going on in the background. And I just love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for helping bring this shit back to where it is. I'm so proud of this, and I love you guys with everything inside me.
So all in all, is FaZe Clan back?
What happened to FaZe was a slow motion collapse driven by recklessness, ego, and greed. The hard truth is, FaZe was never built on stable foundations. It thrived purely on momentum, hype, and viral moments. When that momentum finally slowed and the walls came crashing down, there was nothing left strong enough to hold it together.
I was fucking at the absolute rock bottom of my life. I was watching my company in free fall below $1 a share, when I was told over and over, you trust us, yeah, we're gonna squeeze your brand, we're gonna fucking turn it into something that it's not, we're gonna destroy it, but you'll walk away with 50, 60, $70 million. You'll be able to take care of your family for the rest of your life.
Because the scariest stories aren't about monsters or technology gone rogue. They are about real people driven by greed, egos, and mistakes that can tear apart even the biggest empires. FaZe Clan dangers fail. It destroyed itself from within, leaving behind a haunting legacy that the gaming world will never forget.